Other podcasters understood, but I think the general public thought I was bogus.
Hey, like, you know what it was? It was the same as The Best Man when the old boy wrote that book.
Man, it was something just like that, because everybody was like, "Yo, Seth, you bogus. You didn't have to ask those questions." Like, because they were talking about, like, we were talking about, like, dating, and I was like, well, if you feel that way, why don't you feel like Eric is the one? Or why don't you feel like, and I asked him, like, why do you feel like she is the one? Without your kid, would you still be with her?
Wow. Hey, man, it's the perfect time for Eric to come in here, man.
Hey, let me give him a call. Hold on, I'm gonna call him, actually.
This is like more, hey, one more.
Hey, call him up. Yeah, well, let me call him. Hold on, I'm about to call him right now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring Eric in. Let y'all listen to a little music while he calls.
Yo, Key.
Yes, sir.
Got Suits on the line.
My man, Suits.
Yo.
What's good, man? Suits is up in here, man.
Hold on, I'm testing my mic like we in battle rap. Yo. Yo.
Man, Suits up in here.
What's good?
What's good with your brother? Did you hear up to that point when we called you?
And I was listening, then I just heard y'all talking about episode 16. I turned it off.
He got emotional, like, man, why he going there, man? Why he doing it again?
Bro, I listen to him.
I was just telling him, bro, how, like, you know, I caught a lot of slack for that episode, and how a lot of people didn't understand, like, why we talked about it, how you were so open to it. So, like, I'll let you give your background on it, man.
I mean, if I was you, I wouldn't even told the people, like, the conversation we had. I would just accepted being the villain.
Oh, man. Like, but you wasn't really the villain.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you talking about I should have just accepted this saying, hey, I asked the questions. I said what I said.
Now what? Like,
now what?
Yeah. Who won't pull up?
Nah, man. I couldn't do it.
He had to make real radio out there, man.
Man,
he sacrificed you for ratings.
Man, that's how people felt. They thought I was doing stuff just for the ratings. I'm like, man, I don't care about that shit. This is my guy.
I know.
Like, why would I do that to him? But I'm telling you, if y'all could have been in that room, even our engineer said he was just sitting over there quiet, looking back and forth, like, is this happening right now?
I mean, I felt like I sat through a stoning, like an old tribunal stoning when they found out like somebody was a witch in the village. That's how I
felt. That was the scarlet letter and shit on your ass.
Yeah.
They had to make you wear that red thing on you.
Man, just to be called to the carpet and have somebody you truly thought you was going to spend the rest of your life with just tell you why and all that shit ain't going to work out. That's like the hardest shit. That's like Superman just holding the kryptonite, just like fuck it.
So I'm saying you had no clue up to the time y'all had this podcast, and she just opened up on y'all right then.
I mean, some things were discussed, but what she went into, I had no clue.
Blindsided you.
I'm like, okay.
Like some of the shit he had heard before.
Oh God, man.
Like they had talked about some of that shit, but I could tell some of that shit was kind of like
fresh.
It was a punch to the chest, man.
It was like stepping in some shit on the shoe.
Man, dog, boy.
Like you just brought some fresh J's and you just in a landmine full of donkey shit, just exploding everywhere.
This exploding.
That's like I just got these goddamn shoes.
Why VJ calling you Skype Date E?
Because so me and VJ, we supposed to have a Skype date, but my daughter ended up getting sick. And we never just rescheduled.
What the hell's a Skype date?
I still wanted them to do the Skype date so we could talk about it on the pod, and we'll bring VJ.
So I guess I was supposed to go to Starbucks.
Shit! You go to a location together on Skype and just like get a coffee, I get a coffee.
I set it up, bro. Kysii, bro, I set it up. I said, hey, y'all both go to Starbucks. Y'all both Skype from Starbucks, and then that way it's like y'all in the same place, same setting. And it ain't like no Netflix and chill type shit. Like it
sounds like some shit Seth came up with.
Yep. It is fighting.
You know what? I heard people. Actually, I had a homeboy who he got married to this chick, and they met on like Black People Meet or whatever. But him and this girl they wouldn't turn on Skype, but they're like, "Hey, let's watch whatever movie it is tonight," and they both start Netflix at the same time and shit, and watch whatever the movie is. So it's like we're at the movies. I'm like, whoa, this is out of control.
That's right. You know what? That's kind of tight.
No, they can pack that shit up. I kind of mess with that. They can pack that shit up.
I kind of mess with it, bro. Like, 'cause that way they can talk about it later, and then they can both masturbate, like, in their respective places.
And have some popcorn and shit. Like, yo, buddy, you gonna put on yours.
Right. They can do what they do and then be like, how was your night?
Like, what the fuck?
See, the way my thought meter set up right now, bro. I mean, no homo, but I've been getting my rocks off.
All right, well, handle your business, man. You tight.
Man,
hey, that's all good. That, bro. Hey, you just said masturbate and chill. Hey.
Yep. That's what Skype dates end up as. Masturbate and chill.
That's it, man. Long distance relationship too. Same thing, exactly.
Right, long distance. We just send me some pictures, fam. I got you. Like, I'm
exactly. Hey, you don't need no pictures now. Now you got Skype and Facebook,
got Skype and
FaceTime, all that, man. Shit,
that's why I don't understand how people get catfish still.
You right. That don't make no sense to get catfish like they just showing you the side of their head and shit. And they got a nice head, but they be like 700 pounds down low.
You damn near get asking to get catfish if that shit happen to you.
Like, you got to be dumb if a person always got a reason they can't see you. Like, come on, fam. Like, you ain't got no phone.
Hey.
You ain't got no computer. You can't even upload me a picture holding like a fork to let me know it's you.
Only people with Androids get catfish.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah. Hey man, we got ways of looking at them damn. Y'all over here hating and shit, man. Y'all do some silent ass hating shit.
I done touched the nerve.
You got the green bubble, bro.
Hey man, I do got Hangouts, man. Hangouts work.
So y'all need a whole separate app to fake.
Oh, y'all got to download something for that though.
Hangouts is a Google app, man. That shit is on the phone.
Okay, it's an app, like, but FaceTime is like, never mind. Just get an iPhone. I'll explain it to you later.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking with this iPhone. Y'all like y'all better than me and shit. Y'all think y'all better than me and shit, man? Y'all think y'all fucking better than me with iPhones?
No, listen. It's just our phone is, not us.
V just said, fuck you, nigga. That's what I'm saying, man. I should put y'all ass on commercial. Take y'all to a commercial, dude.
No, I'm going to take it to we'll cut a nice Apple promo for you right now. Are you tired of your green bubbles?
See what I'm saying?
Come on over to iPhone.
Here you go.
Where your bubbles are blue. Do you want to see that friend that's out of town? No need to download that app. Come on and FaceTime. Apple. Ain't it a bitch?
Here we go. Here you go.
My bad, bro. I got you back for that. I got you back for that cowboy shit earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Aaron, who's your team?
Green Bay Packers.
See, he live in the town and he represent the town he's supposed to represent. You know what I'm saying? That's like these dudes here that's in Atlanta representing the Giants and all that other shit, man. Fake ass Atlanta people and shit, man. You live in the town, you represent the team in your town.
I don't know. How did you become a Cowboys fan again?
Who, me? That's the first football team I ever watched on TV.
Oh, okay.
And it just never wavered. Hold on real quick.
All right. That's cool, man.
You got put on hold.
I know, right? Anyway, Eric, you was out in the streets. We didn't disturb you, did you? I think you had a event you was at, right?
When?
Just now. That nigga lied about you, man. Like, well, yeah, Eric is at an event. He ain't gonna be able to make
it. It was at my little brother's surprise birthday.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, wait, you didn't know.
Man, I got so much shit going on.
Man.
Man. Shout out to my little brother, Justin, man. He just turned 24. A lot of people this day and age don't live to see that long. So,
hey, man, happy birthday to him,
little
man.
Bro.
That's definitely happy birthday. Turn up for him, man. You know what I'm saying? Turn up for him, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
man,
yeah, bro.
What's good?
Tell Justin happy birthday, bro.
But
And you just chimed back in after we was already talking.
I know, right? You
my
just
fault.
jump back in.
I apologize. I'll be quiet. Go ahead, y'all do something.
Hey, so I got both y'all on, so now I can jump into my questions about the podcast. First thing, how long y'all been doing the podcast?
January 7th. Yep, January 7th. 8
What?
months. 8 months. Yep,
7,
January.
8 months.
Whoa!
Yep.
Hold on, because I got a lot of podcasters in this room. We're gonna talk about what y'all doing. Y'all like next level podcast and only been doing this shit for 7 months.
Stop it,
I'm
brother.
a 3-year podcaster. Y'all got 7 years, and this shit is high quality, top notch shit. Y'all doing podcasts in the club
Stop
with live
it, bro.
audiences and shit.
Man, that's something, that's something like, man, we trying to do more, man. We came in the ground. Let's hit the ground running, dog. You know what I'm saying? And
Hit
fact that
hit the
we
ground like Usain Bolt.
trying to be,
Y'all running fast as shit. All right, so tell me, man. Tell me about this, man. So the concept of y'all podcast, y'all started this thing, and how'd you go from just a standard podcast all of a sudden now live on location with trivia nights and shit? Talk to me about this.
It's just the fact of wanting better, not just standing for the I guess what the norm is. We like to sit outside the box and not conform to what the norm is, pretty much. So we always want to stay consistent and have our face out there so we don't be forgot about.
Yeah, man. I feel like even like it don't necessarily have to be just a live podcast show, but just hosting events, man. Just having our name attached to good shit going on in the city, that helps.
So it's like y'all are promoters. You promoters also, and you put it out to the city.
Not really. I mean, we only promote our shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just us coming up with shit. Like, we sitting down now trying to figure out what we gonna do, what our next event will be, because I just want people to constantly remember us, constantly be able to interact with us. You know what I'm saying? So like, the more events we host where people get to meet us, and they may bring a friend who's never heard of the podcast, but they heard of the parties, or they heard of, the trivia nights, or they heard of just the mixers we throw, or the bowling night we think about throwing, or the karaoke night, or stuff that we think. Like, long as you talking about sweats and suits, something, to me, that's the better it is.
Now we had an event here that went for years, man. It actually grew from Atlanta and went to other parts of the country. And there's a brother here named Amari. I think it's Harvard or something like that. But anyway, he had a event called Playdate. So Playdate actually started. He'll find a location. Sometimes it was in a lounge. Sometimes it was at a hotel. Sometimes it was at an event center or whatever, but he would basically have it where it's set up with different stations. It was basically people would go to almost like a club setting. They have music playing, but they had like a checkers, Connect Four, goddamn a huge Jenga board.
We do something like that here.
Yeah, Jenga, stuff like that. Just games and shit like that. Then they had the Nintendo Wii's and shit, back then when that was hot.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So it was real cool, man. And then it would be, you know what I'm saying, you would have, you know what I'm saying, the attractive folks, you know what I'm saying, is in there. You know what I'm saying? The dude, I ain't trying to say, I'm trying to say this politically because my wife might tell me like this. So what you say now? I'm like, yeah, so anyway, I can say it, man. I got freedom. You got the honeys there, and you got, you know what I'm saying, with the dudes and shit, you know what I'm saying, the ladies like, you know what I'm saying, pretty decent looking dudes. Pause.
Yeah, you gotta have, you gotta have eye candy, pause.
That's
you know what I'm saying? That makes any event. We've had something like that here. You know what I'm saying? It was like we didn't have it consistently, but I heard about stuff like that. When I was bartending, I was trying to do something like that on the night that I had at the bar. I was trying to do have spades and all sorts of shit going on, but it just never worked out that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's pretty dope. But yeah, even if we did that, man, I wouldn't even mind doing something like that. Just as long as they saying Sweats and Suits podcast through it.
Yeah,
maybe that'll get people to go listen to this podcast. Like I get new people every day. Like I never heard of the podcast. I'm gonna listen and check y'all out. Thank you.
Damn, that is awesome.
One person at a time.
So when y'all have y'all events, are y'all actually recording a podcast at the same time, right?
Sometimes. Not all of them.
Sometimes.
Not all of them.
Okay.
The first one was with the network, and that was recorded.
That show was wild as hell.
That show was crazy as a bitch.
We had a chick showed up and said she be licking on butt. I was like, what?
Yeah, we had a chick in the crowd who openly admitted to eating ass. Like, it was weird. Like, we wasn't prepared for that.
But here's the wild